Bonjour, bonjour. Don't you like this title? Five things to be aware of, awareness, consciousness, when Venus is conjoining with Pluto. Let's have a look at this. Let's delve deeper. If you think this is going to be one of those videos where you can sit back and give me 5 tips, quick, give me the how do you say that? Spoon feeding, is that the word? Oh, thank you so much. For when I'm looking, this English is not my first language, but when I'm looking for those words and people just kind of comment on that, I really like that. So I was looking for a word. I hope it's a good word. Baby spooning, spoon feeding, something like that. I'm not gonna do that to you because I respect you and you're not a baby, and I'm not either. Anyways, 5 things indeed, but hey, this is not gonna be superficial. This is gonna be deep, right? I mean, people who know my channel, who are attracted to this video and my energy, I mean, there's nothing superficial here on this channel. So we want to get to the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So let's talk about this. If you want to know, the monthly horoscopes are on, where this Venus-Pluto conjunction that I'm talking about as well is in a more, you could say, broader perspective. So this is just a tiny little thing that I'm extracting from these monthly horoscopes because it's so interesting. First of all, Venus and Pluto together in the sky is normally Venus transiting Pluto 2 days, 3 days, maybe, that you're gonna feel this. But now we're feeling it the whole month. The whole month, Venus conjoins with Pluto, the whole month. And there are some peaks there. So write it in your calendar. Around the 10th, the 11th, the 12th, it's really full on. Around the 25th, there's gonna be some presence on a very mundane level. This is funny, really. You see, this is not about 5 things at all, but I get to it in a minute. I get to it in a minute. The 25th, we're gonna get some presence with this Venus Pluto going retrograde that we are not gonna like. I mean, I've said it. It's not important, right? But I've said it. You will get and give presence that a lot of people are not gonna like it. But anyway, it's just presence. It's a funny thing. And the last timing is the end of February and March, up until the 4th of March. Then it's also full on this energy. So this is this light energy? No, not at all. It is complex energy. It is complex. And because something is complex and deep, it doesn't mean to say that, oh, I don't understand it, I don't want the information. On the contrary, it's transformative. This information that I'm going to give you about Venus-Pluto, the goal of it is to transform. The goal of it is to dig so deep that you come towards the depth of something, so that you know the real reason, the hidden reason, right? Pluto is about everything that is hidden, that can come to the surface now, not to annoy you, but to transform. So let's get to the 5 points, right? First of all, where do we be? Let's start light. Well, it's not light, but anyway. First thing to be aware of is manipulation. Check, right? Manipulation and seduction, And with seduction, I'm not just meaning seduction through people, people who are trying to seduce each other. I mean broader. It can be seduction, a salesman that is trying to seduce his clients and saying, yes, you have to be, you have to come towards this event or whatnot, and it's going to be the best, and you need it. You really do. And actually, a lot of people are like, do I need it? But that's the, marketing, that's the seduction, right? It's actually seducing you that you need something, but actually you don't. Or it would even be bad for you, those like buying, or they're trying to seduce you something that if you're gonna buy it, you're gonna be in debt and you're gonna have troubles financially, and so on and so on. So a huge thing to be aware of during these periods of time that I just mentioned, you see how I'm getting serious now, is manipulation and seduction. And it can be done to you, but you can also do it to others, of course, right? It's both of it. And it's the shadow. And with shadow, I mean, it's a hidden agenda, you know, like the salesman, and you're like buying some clothes, and you go, and it's you know, the saleswoman, let's give it this example, saleswoman, and you're trying on different things, and she's saying, oh, it's fantastic, it's beautiful, oh, this is really you, it's beautiful, you know. And people feel it when it's real. Believe me, most people do. They feel when a saleswoman is being honest and she says, yes, this is astonishing, this is beautiful, people feel it. But it is that even whilst you feel it, that it's not really real, you still want to believe it, right? That is a good seductress of a saleswoman. She knows exactly what you need to hear. She knows your weaknesses, or weaknesses. It's not about a weakness. No, scratch that. It's not about weakness. She knows your needs and she knows your vulnerabilities, right? And that is what she uses to manipulate you and to seduce you, to buy those 5 trousers instead of just one. That actually, so you are doing something that is a bit against what you really want, and that seductress of a saleswoman is also doing something that with a hidden agenda, because she's not interested in you. By the way, I'm not saying that every saleswoman is not interested. No. I'm saying about the one that is evil, right? Which is manipulating. And because she also is under the spell of, let's say, wanting to be the best saleswoman of her company or whatnot, right? So she also has needs. It's a it goes 2 ways, right? It's the one that seduces, attracts someone that wants to be seduced, you see? And it's very important to be aware of that. I'm giving you a stupid example, but of course this can go very far. This can go into relationships. This can go into, maybe your boss is seducing you and saying, yeah, you can do that. You can do that. I know you can do that. You know those bosses who are very manipulative. Yeah, you can do that. You're the best and the best. And they know, because that's exactly what you need. You need that my identity, to do a bit like that. And you fall into that trap. You get seduced. Actually, you don't want to do it, but you get seduced by the fact that, oh yeah, they're giving me affirmation here, what you want, you know, recognition. That is the deeper need that is amongst this. And it is given to you when you fall into the trap and you're getting a burnout because you're working until midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock every single day, right? And that boss as well, you would say, oh, that is a strong boss, you know, being a seducer or a manipulator is strength. It isn't. It isn't at all. It seems like that, and it can give you strength short term, but in the long run, what is that employee gonna do one day? It's either gonna get back passively aggressively when they don't want to show you that they're not liking it anymore, by getting ill or whatnot, by not saying the truth into your face and say, hey, I can't work here every single day up until 2 o'clock in the morning. You know, some people have difficulties with saying so, and believe me, I'm also one of them. But you know, being aware of it can change it. If you're not aware of these dynamics, you can't change, right? So be aware of these dynamics that are at play, and they can really make these events, or these, not events, but energies, even more intense, so that you do something about it, right? So because that boss that is pushing you is also having a problem, because he's also trying to control, and because there is also a deeper need, maybe of getting the best bonus or what, or maybe because he wants so much stability in life that he wants more money or what not. So this whole item of manipulation and seduction, be aware of it. Be aware of it and put a smile on your face if you are trying to seduce someone else or you're getting seduced. Put a smile on your face because you're recognizing it. You're recognizing it, and then you can still choose, am I going with it or am I not, right? So yes, it's that hidden agenda, and basically what Venus Pluto is trying to do, it's trying to make us stronger, because it's again in the short in a short term it is being strong, but in a long run, if you want to control and manipulate, it's not strength. You know, the really strong people, the really strong leaders, you know, strong bosses, the really strong saleswoman, she goes in, she says her truth, and she's not so attached to the outcome, right? She's going to do her best to show you some beautiful clothes, but if they're not beautiful, they're not beautiful. She's going to be real. She's going to be authentic. She's going to be truthful. And guess what? She will be most successful as well when she's doing what she's supposed to do. So real strength is those leaders that don't need to push and control, and people are doing stuff for them. That's the real strength. That is a strong leader. That is someone who knows the art of manipulation and seduction. Well, art, can you say it at art? Well, sometimes it is, right? But that doesn't need to use it anymore. Or that, and that is the higher octave of Venus Pluto, right? A bit like Venus in Scorpio, the higher octave of Venus in Scorpio is magnetic. Venus and Pluto conjunction, it's magnetic. And this is yin energy, because this Venus is in Capricorn, a feminine sign. And Venus Pluto it kind of pulls, but it does it not because it wants it, but it's aligned. It's aligned. And we get to the second point here, which is trust and truth, right? So another thing to be aware of is that this is a deep one. Rejection is God's protection. So this is all about trust. This is all about truthfulness. You see, I'm getting more serious and serious with the minute. And but it's fascinating. It's fascinating. Once you understand this, you are going to be more aligned with the universe, with nature, with God. I don't want to say God too much, because I know for a lot of people it's, oh, God, but say nature. And what I'm trying to say here, to be aligned with the divine or with nature or with God, I mean with something that is bigger than you. Right? We are definitely not gods. If we were gods, we could do exactly what we want, and we say, I want this, and you get it immediately, and you kind of, that would be the ultimate manipulator, right? You know, you kind of push, pull, whenever you want to do it, and it's happening all of the time. I don't think that any creature, human being, can do that yet. And if you can, I think it's another round, basically. Anyway, rejection is God's protection, because that is the strength of a Venus Pluto. You know, people who have this natally, and they and you know, you could say who have worked through seductions, manipulations, and who have been on both sides, right? Venus Pluto people who have that in a natal chart, they have been on both sides. They have been seduced, and they have seduced. And that is karma, right? You know, Venus, Pluto, when you see that in the chart, it's a karmic energy from lifetimes after lifetimes where they learn this, how to stand above that. And that is by trusting that the universe gives you exactly what is best for your growth, for your spiritual growth, for your spirit, for where the universe knows. Nature knows. We know as well a bit, but not all. And so in this, be aware during these times when you are trying to pull something towards you by force, right? And you're trying to manipulate that and you're not getting it, be aware of rejection as God's protection, right? It can mean that it's not for you. That it's better that it's not for you, not only for you, but for everyone involved, right? So again, to give these examples again, let's say that you're really trying to get a job and you're doing the best that you can and you're forcing it. Actually, with this energy, you are a bit more prone to force things, whether it is a job or even whether it is a person, yeah, I want this person to want me as well, which is actually out of your control, which is not up to you. But a Venus-Pluto conjunction energy will do everything it can to pull it towards them. But this is not going to work now, because we are at energies where, if you are very aware of this, that this is the job, and you're writing them letters and you're phoning them and you're trying to you go a bit to the extreme there. You're trying to get along with, I don't know what, a person that works there, and actually you don't like them, but you're doing it because the ultimate goal, which is that Venus-Pluto pitfall, is I want to get that job, right? And you're doing everything. Like, actresses, for instance, they want to get so desperate a job that they would do things that, the Me Too kind of thing. Again, not wanting to put a finger towards them, because it's, again, both way. The one that tries to control other people, right? With this, actresses and people who are in power because they are the director or whatnot. Of course, they are in power. They have a hidden agenda. They want, like, sex, for instance. Also very Venus-Plutonian thing. I mean, the sex hunger, the lust can be to the extremes with Venus-Pluto. So you could say in that example of I'm a director and I'm gonna pull, and I want that actress, and she's gonna do everything I want for the role, or for because I just kind of fancy her or whatnot. I want to get her, I want to have her, whatever that means. But that actress also has that weakness of, the seduction manipulation thing that I was talking about. She also has that weakness, or he, that she wants that role so much, and it's because she wants it so much that she's just doing things that is harmful to her. That is all that. So I give another example. For instance, power struggles. This is also Pluto. Let's say you are a professor and you have 5 students and they want to have the role that you have, becoming a professor. That is power, right? You're having power. As that professor, you can pick one of those 5 people. You're having power, because all of these 5, they're having a bit of a vulnerability because they want that position, right? Who's gonna get that position? By when they are dancing towards what the professor is saying, 100%. You see, this is that very manipulative, seductive power, and a lot of people, most people, 80%, maybe more of the people, tell me something that you cannot misuse if you have a certain power over something, right? So not all people are like that, but people become more and more aware of this. So again, when you're getting rejected, right? You want to that professor is doing something that you want to be like them, and then you have to do this and that, and it's not according to your value system. Then clap your hands and say, rejection is God's protection. It's not for me. I'm not aligned for this. It aches. It's painful. Venus Pluto. It's about pain, but it's pain is the teacher here. because then you let go and then something better comes into your life. I've seen it time and time again. I mean, in the astrology, many times, that once you get that, once you trust that it is best for you, for instance, to not go into that job or that relationship or whatever, a better one will come. You may be, fully trusting that. And when you feel that and you trust that, because trust, you can't force trust. It's already 20 minutes. I'm still at point 2. But anyway, you don't have to force yourself to trust it. It has to come. It's a process, You can't say, oh, but be a bit more trustful. It's a feeling, right? So that can help you. Be aware these days that when things are not coming your way, and especially you're forcing it, just distance yourself a little bit and see what happens. Because now, these are very karmic times, not only with the Venus Pluto, but also with the solar eclipse. And I mean, it's in Sagittarius, and it's an eclipse of the letting go with the South Node. So yeah, this is really interesting. I've been talking a lot about pushing and pulling. Let's get to part number 3, which is the push and the pull technique. The push and, not a technique, but energy. Excuse me, like in martial arts, right? They learn you to, when an energy comes to you, right? You could say the seduction or the manipulation. Instead of resisting it and running away, you could just do, like in the Matrix. You could do a bit like this, and it's way easier, isn't it? Or if you want to have something, or you want to achieve something, or you want to have a goal, you work to it, but you don't pull too much, right? You don't pull too much, because that's a lot of energy, burnout, feeling empty, All of these energies it's good to be aware of it, because it's at its peak, the push and pull. Let's talk about relationships. I want to talk about relationships here, because it has to do with attachment styles, right? So a healthy attachment is that you don't have to push or pull. You can have a desire and it comes up, and oh yeah, this person, or oh yeah, this person is fancying me, and you can go with the flow. And that is, of course, very healthy. But whenever you feel, when you are single, for instance, and you're sitting in that dynamic of pull, or you feel that pull, or you feel that pushing away, it's coming, but I'm afraid. You're dealing probably with that attachment style that is not so healthy, which leads to codependency. If you want to know more about all these things, look it up. These are the days to do that. Look it up. There's plenty of videos about attachment styles, about the avoidant attachment style, and about the anxiety attachment style, or something like that. I'm not an expert, but it's about this push and pull energy that is very Venus Plutonian kind of like, right? And what does it say if you're feeling it? It's not bad. Again, when you're aware of it, it's half of your transformation. And because people don't see it, you cannot change and transform if you're not seeing it. So if you're seeing that you're being pushed and pulled, those dynamics in relationships as well, it's not a bad thing necessarily. I mean, nothing is bad. It's not a bad thing. But it shows that you're triggered. It shows that there are some triggers going on, and it shows this. And this is the beauty of Venus Pluto transformation, which was my next point. But I'm gonna stick to the push pull a little bit more. So what can you do when this happens? You can be aware of it. That's one. Let's say you are aware someone is coming closer, and you've been single for like 5 years, which is a long time, and someone that interests you comes nearer, but you're getting that trigger of, for whatever reason it is, of anxiety, because you're afraid of, for some of it, it is being afraid of vulnerability, it's being afraid of intimacy, right? Because You can get hurt, right? Yes. And the thing is, you cannot protect yourself towards people. No, you can protect yourself, but you cannot control others that they're not going to hurt you. I mean, that's a waste of your energy. You can protect yourself and say, when that happens, I'm strong enough. And that is this push and this pull. You know, when someone comes very close to you and you're kind of being the runner, right? Be aware and don't run, right? Just try to look what happens, you know. You can always make a choice, you know, whether it is not good for you and whatnot. Of course, then you do this, right? But see what happens. Instead of running, stay still and see what happens. And that's going to strengthen you, because maybe this person can be very good for you as well, right? So it's fear that you're running away from, and it's strengthening you. You have fear, but you're still there. So you're not running away from your fear. You're not running away from your pain. You're going through it. And you will see that that transforms and that heals. The same if you want someone very badly, for instance, you know, maybe that person is not so good for you. And that is scary, you know, when people are doing this. Maybe that person is good for you, but doing this is it's not nice. No one likes that. So keep a distance a little bit. Don't, you know, text them 24 lines every single day, but maybe one, or maybe none, maybe once a week. You see what I mean? That's push and pull. Try to be aware of it, and then you can control it. But it takes time. Gets me to the fourth point, which is transformation. So transformation through love, because Pluto and Venus, Pluto is transformation, Venus is through love. And this is a dynamic that I was talking about a lot, you know, whether it is, and of course, when I mean love, it's not only between romantic love, a man and a woman, or maybe two men or two women, but I'm talking about dynamics between a parent and a child, between siblings, between friends, between, you name it, a boss and an employer and an employee. It's every dynamic that has to do with relationships, that has to do with a connection, and that has to do with through love as well. So this is about either you take your power back because you've given away your power, or either you surrender and you let go. Right? So this is the transformation that's going to take place. And we are again in times where that happens there's the opportunity. A long time now. So it's significant. So make use of it. Let go and surrender where you feel deep down inside that you need to. And take your power back where you feel that you need to. Again, it's, let's say, a relationship dynamic between, I don't know, maybe between friends, right? And two good friends, they've been friends for like maybe 30 years. Because this is a bottling up, right? Venus Pluto is about bottling up of energy. I feel annoyed, but I'm not doing anything. I feel annoyed, but I'm not doing anything. And now you're getting such a peak of annoyance that you can do something about it when you are aware of it. So let's say two friends for 30 years, and you know that you're losing your energy with this friend. This friend has been taking advantage of you, and you don't want to point that finger, right? Because if you're not gonna, that's their job to work on that, but work on you. So you have let that person do that to you, right? So you can say now, gonna take my power back, you know, in the relationship, in the connection. It's always been 90%, 10%. It's always me being there for them, a 90%. And when I need them once, they're not there, right? So take your power back and say, I distance myself, you know, no more. I'm taking my power back. You know, that kind of dynamic. And it's very powerful because you're going to transform the relationship. It's going to be painful. Absolutely. Because you were getting something out of it as well. Whilst you were doing that and giving your power away, you were getting something out of that as well, right? Whether it was because you did so much for this person, it felt good about you, your identity. You only feel good if you can give, 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 give. Might have been that, or other reason, doesn't matter. And on the other hand, it can mean that to let go and to surrender. So one position or the other. It's about someone is always, or for instance, you want something so badly, right? Venus Pluto is about mastering your desires. And now you're saying, look, I'm gonna let go. I'm gonna surrender. And that's painful. Yes, but you know, I trust that this is the best thing. And then last but not least, which is actually, you know what this is all about, it's the mastering of your desires. It's the control of self. So be aware of your desires. Be aware of your longings. Desires, I mean, it can be a cake, it can be alcohol, it can be porn, it can be games, it can be love addiction. You know, you always have to get validation of other people because you can't get all these things. So be aware of your desires, because all these things are outside of you, right? They are all outside of you, and they're good for the short term. So when you desire, for instance, we all have different needs, of course, but we all have a need. We all know it. It's very human. We need validation, right? We need that people see us, right? And of course, we need to do that to ourselves first and foremost, because the happiness and the strength only comes from there, right? And then it can be an extra, an icing on the cake if someone else likes you as well. For, let's say you are a very young lady and you want to be seen as, hey, I'm beautiful, right? And I mean, literally on the looks. But if that desire is too strong and it comes from the need, like if I'm not being seen on that way, I'm not good enough, or whatever, it's not going to make you happy. So this is because you're going to make your happiness dependent on another person that might even be also not happy that much. You see what I mean? So happiness comes from within, right? So there can also be a desire of, let's say, you're almost a millionaire. Let's say you have gathered a lot of accomplishments in your life and you're very successful. Successful is because you have some goals and you achieve them, very successful. And you feel that emptiness, you know. What can I do next? I have already one house, and now I'm having 5 houses, but what next? I feel empty. That is the typical thing of the desire, right? When you feel that emptiness, because you're trying to, you know, feel good about yourself by something external that gives you that emptiness. But now use this Venus Pluto why you are doing that, right? And it can be other things as well. Maybe you're the best employer of your company, and now what? You're feeling empty. But that has to do with, why do you have to be the best? Why? What do you need? What are your deep needs? Do you want to get recognition? Why are you not giving it to yourself, the recognition? Why do you need others to recognize you? You know, that kind of thing. So the deeper needs. Sometimes, you know, like something desires, like let's say a man is you know, obsessively, you know, desires and obsessions, it's all connected to each other, right? Because you go over the top. And, you know, wanting sex all the time, or porn, or with different women and whatnot. Every time they get that, they feel good about themselves. So, and of course you could say, oh, the need of that person, it's sex. No, go deeper. Venus, Pluto, go deeper. Why? Why does this person... And when you ask yourself that question, you will go to the core need, and that wants to be seen by you. For instance, very often, not always, but very often, people who do this, they need connection. So are they gonna get it through, you know, casual sex and so on? Probably not, right? It's like something that is you know, that never is gonna make them happy. They want actually deep connection. So it's about connecting first and foremost with on a deeper level with people, with self, yes, but also maybe with one particular person in your life, with one particular woman, with one particular whatnot, and so on and so on, which is again what Venus and Pluto is all about. So all these needs, that the desire is superficial, but there's always a need for, like I said, connection. What was the other need that I was saying? Recognition, a need for stability. You know, a lot of women who need a man that is very rich, for instance, mostly they have this very strong need of stability in their life, right? Again, this is not good or bad. It means, is there a balance? Is there a balance with that other person? Stability and variety. We all have those needs. These are very human-like. We all have them. But in our lives, we tend to have a preference for one or the other. And it can change throughout our lives. I mean, when you are like a 30-year-old woman and you just had a baby, you're not going to look for variety in your life. You're going to look for stability, right? So that need is way more interesting. But know your needs. Know what the depths is of your desire. That awareness is going to help you a lot, right? And some people in their life, they're going to have need for variety a little bit more. There's nothing wrong with it. But knowing it is important, because if you don't know it and if it's hidden, you're going to do things that, you know, variety is, you know, changing for the sake of the changing, that is unhealthy, is also not good, right? So these are all very interesting things, and these are things that can give us freedom. You know, there's no freedom in obsession or wanting something very badly. It is having these desires. It's choose your passions wisely. Again, during this time, choose your passions wisely. And I mean, if you have a passion for knowledge, for instance, right? A passion for astrology. It certainly was an obsession for me, you know, but it's one that that is not so unhealthy. Although if you read books up until the middle of the night, it can cause you damage to your health as well, right? Whether it is mental or physical. You see, so choose your passions wisely, because it's going to be way easier now to feel passionate and to have those desires. I'm going to stop the video. I hope it was helpful. I hope you liked it, but very important. Yeah, I hope you liked it, but I did like it a lot. I love to do these random videos. Put into the comments. I'm very curious what you think about those 5 things, and what is very current, and what you've learned about this video. Yes, share with us. Share with us, me, and all the other people who are watching this video. Share what you've learned out of this, and the tiny little bit of awareness that you're getting here out of this video. Share it and name it. I'm going to read it all, and that's a promise. Thanks again, and see you later.